Yes, it's called Pod Potatoes.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And today's guest is Eileen Weiner. And she is often... Do people tease you about your name growing up?
Not really. No.
Eileen Weiner is a blues singer and a comedian, a musical comedian, and she's one of my very favorites, and you're going to love her too. So today we're going to have her play some of her songs, and then I will attempt to do some songs also, and Eileen has been nice enough to accompany me on many songs. If you go to my YouTube channel, Mark Selzer, at just youtube.com/Mark Selzer, you can see many videos of us from the now defunct Happy Alley show, playing songs together, singing about Captain Kirk, and other things like that. And so, when did you start playing the piano?
Oh, when I was a little girl, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that.
Did your mommy whip you and make you play the piano? Play the piano every day.
Well,
you must
no.
practice.
She did encourage me to practice, but my father was a musician. He always had a band, and he was a piano player.
Oh, really?
So, there was music. Matter of fact, the story goes that when they brought me home from the hospital when I was a baby, a newborn baby, the first thing he did when they walked in the door was bang on the piano, so I would learn to sleep through the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So he played the piano, and what did your mom think of this?
Think of his playing the piano?
Yeah.
Well, she loved it. He was great. He was very talented. And he had a band. He always had a day job, but he always had a band. He played weddings, bar mitzvahs, moose lodges, American Legions, stuff like that, country clubs.
I'm amazed that you're not singing somewhere in a bar at night, or, there used to be this jazz club right down the street. You remember where that was?
There still is, Catalina.
How come you're not playing there?
I am, but only in my mind.
You should be playing there. You should walk in there and say, hey, I'm a musician, and I want to play here.
Well, that's a thought.
You should do that because you should be playing at a place like that all the time, and you should be paid and into any kind of
paid in Los Angeles. What a concept!
And like there's that hotel right by my house, right by my apartment, Lowell's it's now called. They used to have a piano down there. And they have tourists in there all day, and you should have been playing over there. There's got to be a place like that.
There used to be gay piano bars used to be big too, like in the 80s and stuff. And I played in Houston at some of those, but now it's all DJ. So things have changed a little.
Well, there's got to be someone that would love to have you. There's got to be a place.
One would like to think so.
You just have to keep at it. You got to talk to people and say, hey, I'm a comedian. Hire me. So anyway, let's get you to play a song. What about let's start out with your big hit, Occupy.
Okay, well, I hate to go right to that. Now, that mic's so far away, is it going to pick up?
Picks everything up?
Because I'm used to swallowing it.
Yeah, no, this is an amazing microphone.
Okay.
And it, see right there, it even peaks a little bit. You'll have to watch it.
That might pick up the background noise from the thing moving around, though. Because the keyboard jumps around. I think you probably shouldn't put it on the...
I think it's fine.
Alright. Occupy my vagina. It's such a wondrous thing to do. I've given pleasure to hundreds of men and some girls. I can give pleasure to you. Confrontations are scary. Don't let the coppers do you harm. When it's cold late at night, come inside my vagina where it's cozy and warm. Occupy my vagina. The time for change is now. Once I catered to the 1%. Now I'm ready for the crowd. I have total transparency. No numbers do I crunch. And there's no pepper spray deep inside my vajay. You can't even bring lunch. I'm a little tender from the hot dog vendors. And when they dragged the tents away, I was sore all day. Revolution is an art, and I vow to do my part. So with passion I will burn until the 99% have had their turn. Occupy my vagina. Don't put it off a minute more. God will open a window each time he closes a door. Stand shoulder to shoulder as you Twitter and tweet. Cha cha cha.
That's amazing. So what is the that's a song that exists?
The intro is a song that exists. The intro is the intro to L'amour est un oiseau de belle. And then I go into my own little song there.
Okay.
And I forgot the last word. It's supposed to be do not waver or flinch and don't give an inch unless you give it to me, but I spaced out, so sorry folks. I haven't sung that in a while.
You know, and the piano's really low here too, so I can understand the lyrics a lot better, I think, than I usually do, which is good. So that's something also you need to work on. But I've seen people just fawn after you play that song. Everything, yeah,
okay,
everything's fine. The Bill Cosby was just acquitted. So I think there's a song, a Bill Cosby song.
I did write one. I don't think I remember it, but
do you have the lyrics?
Somewhere. God.
Well, let's. One thing that we can
Let's do what we know. Jesus, please friend me. I promise not to sin. Okay, yeah, I'll do Jesus. I like Jesus.
Okay, we can't find the Cosby song, so we're going to do Jesus, please friend me.
Ready? Jesus, please friend me. I promise not to send you any spam. How hard could that be when you've already got the whole world in your hand? I don't need your Twitter feed, I'm not that slick, but if you'll just point that little arrow and click, the next time I log on I can get my God on. Come on, Jesus, don't be a dick. I bet the view from that hilltop was really swell. LOL. And I'd love to see pictures from your little side trip to hell. It's such a small thing to grant my appeal. Don't leave me hanging, you know how that feels. Oh, don't be a stranger, you know there's no danger. So come on now, Jesus, get real. Oh, JC, I want you to friend me so bad. By the way, we have one friend in common, your dad. Mohammed's been on my friends list for quite a while now. And Al is a pala and Buddha's a hoot when he lets his hair down. Jesus, don't you know all that I got for you? Joan of Arc's here, P.S. she's pretty hot for you. Click on that link 'cause I'm saving a slot for you, friend me. Click on that link 'cause I'm saving a slot for you, friend me.
Now, I wrote a little country song about my brother and his journey that he's taking into becoming a woman at this point. And so I wrote a little song about it. And let's do that one. You know, my family, my brother and I are kind of the same, because my brother took on my mom's fashion sense when he was little and became a rather fabulous cross-dresser. But I took on my mom's emotional sense and became a suicidal, alcoholic, lesbian, drug addict, with histrionic personality disorder, completely untreated adult child of alcoholic, chain-smoking, kind of an emotional cross-dresser.
I really want you to
or an
write that
emotional
down
drag
sometime.
Queen.
And write down all the initials and see what that comes out with, because that would be amazing, an amazing acronym.
A, B, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the letters of the alphabet. What the fuck? That's what I identify as. So anyway, here's a song about my brother. My brother wants to be a girl, so he's taking some hormones and growing some breasts. But the men in my family have really hairy chests. That's a lot of electrolysis, and that's really scary. He wants to date women, but as a woman. So technically that means he's not a fairy. But I'm not sure. I'm confused. His name was Michael, but now it's Michelle. Our evangelist sister is sure that he's going to hell. He says, call him ma'am, he's no longer a mister.
No longer mister.
I lost my brother, but I gained a sister. When I was in high school and I wrecked my car, it helped me fix my fender. But now he's a bit of a wreck himself. He's a transgender fender bender.
Oh, transgender fender bender. Transgender fender bender. By the way, I object to you using that kind of term. You shouldn't talk about transgender people like that.
Well, I'm not saying anything bad about transgender people. I'm just talking about my feelings about what my brother is doing. And you know, no one should ever tell myself or my brother that their feelings are wrong. So you just get back to playing the piano.
All right.
And let me finish my song. When we were little and we were in Little League, he taught me how to bunt, but now he had an operation, and he has a cunt. All right.
I just realized if I sang my country song, I would be singing two songs about the female anatomy, so I think I should throw some variety in there.
No, let's do the song. Let's go all cunt all the way. That's my podcast.
Okay, this is the podcast.
All cunt all the time.
All cunt all the time.
That's gonna be like my tagline. K cunt.
KCUMT.
Yeah, KCUMT. All cunt all the time.
That's kind of like your real life anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote this song when I was living in Texas. It's always the little things that mean so much. Make you wanna reach out and touch. If you'll pardon my expression, I'm not trying to be blunt, but I put the country music. Now Crystal Gale's got the longest hair, and Dolly Parton's got the largest underwear. And Dottie West was country when it wasn't cool, you see. But the country music, that's me. Oh, I can give the city bud a little something strange, and in a week's time all he'll want to do is ride the range. Barbara Mandrell's got the sweetest smile, and even Marie Osmond has gone country for a while. When it comes to kicking field goals, all they can do is punt, 'cause I put the country music. Yes, I put the Give me a C.
Cunt?
No, a C.
I don't know.
You're supposed to say C.
C.
Give me a U.
U.
Give me an N.
N.
Give me a T.
T.
What have you got?
A cunt.
I put the country music. Yeehaw!
Cool. Well, you know, we used to sing a song about Captain Kirk. I wonder if I can remember the lyrics.
I don't
to
remember
Captain Kirk.
anything about that song at all. But, you know, why should that be different from any other song?
Why shouldn't it?
You got that one on YouTube, though.
Well, you know, this is a song about Captain Kirk. When I was little, Captain Kirk was kind of my role model. Captain Kirk was my dad, more so than my dad, because my dad was a really shitty alcoholic. And you know, it was Captain Kirk that taught me about things in life, how to interact with other people, what my morality should be. But you know, I think that Captain Kirk may have given me the wrong attitude towards the ladies, you know, because Captain Kirk was always out there in space looking for new opportunities to explore and to go where no man has gone before. He found out that Romulan women were really sleazy. He just told them that it was the Vulcan girls that were easy. When in space, watch out for those gobs of flying space love goo, because on some planets they make love by throwing their space poo. He fucked every girl in the universe just to find out that Earth girls are worse. Captain Kirk was an intergalactic sex god. He traveled the universe, inserting his love rod. Captain Kirk was a cosmic space stud.
A cosmic space stud?
He traveled the universe, inserting his space pod.
His space pod.
He found out that Ferengis, women's genitals, were thorny. He found out it was the Andorian girls that were the most horny. He gave the girls of the Borg Collective, a giant helping of his prime directive.
His prime directive.
He went where no man has gone before.
No man.
He came where no man has come before.
He came.
In the three-legged ladies of Righteous 4. Captain Kirk was an intergalactic sex god.
Sex god.
He traveled the universe, inserting his love
Space
rod.
god.
Captain Kirk was an intergalactic space stud.
Space stud.
He traveled the universe, inserting his space pod.
Space pod.
Watch out for those Klingon girls. They've got teeth on their genitals.
Teeth on the genitals.
But that's not as bad as some of the planets where women's vaginas have testicles.
Testicles.
But that's not even as bad as the planets where women's genitalia have tentacles.
Tentacles? Ay, ay, ay.
When in space, watch out, because on some planets they have both sets of male and female genitals.
Male and female.
Watch out for those intergalactic cosmic she-bells. Captain Kirk was an intergalactic sex god.
An intergalactic space god.
He traveled the universe, inserting his love rod.
His love rod.
Captain Kirk was an intergalactic space stud.
Captain Kirk.
He traveled the universe, inserting his space pod. All right. That was a very chaotic version of Captain Kirk.
Well, you know how it is in outer space.
Things
get
are
crazy.
chaotic.
Things get crazy.
So let's try another song by you. You have another funny song?
Do they all have to be funny? I can't do one real one?
No, do a funny song. This is a comedy podcast.
Let me think.
We don't want any serious music here.
Let me think.
What about that suicide one?
I don't remember. I have no idea what song you're talking about. We've been through that a million times.
So good.
I don't remember it. And
Oh, I had a three-way.
I don't
Or a
remember that one either.
five-way.
I don't remember that one either. I got it somewhere in a box.
Okay, so here's Bipolar Barbie.
See him sitting over there? I've got a car full of them. There's 3 of them. Bipolar Barbie, you are the greatest star. I visit you every day at the toy store in the shopping mall. You've got a tiny couch for when you're feeling down, and a red leather mini skirt for when you're up and around. You are a doll I can relate to. I understand what you have been through. Having a boyfriend who is not anatomically correct could make any girl a nervous wreck. Bipolar Barbie, I adore you. I only wish I could afford you. And I wonder every time while I'm away which mood you're in today. Bipolar Barbie, you're the queen of Toys R Us by far. So much better than a basketball, more exciting than a miniature car. Bipolar Barbie, you are my everything, all wrapped up in cellophane. in cellophane, sitting on your mood swing, bipolar Barbie. I dedicate that to all the bipolar dolls I know. This is called a child's alphabet of drugs. I mean, you have to teach your kids the ABCs, so what better way than to prepare them for the modern world? A is for alcohol, comes in a bottle. B is for benzos, you'll do them if you got 'em. C is for cocaine, all powdery white. D is for detox, 10 days and nights. E is for Elavil, F is for freebase. G is for grams that you do in a pinch. H is for heroin, I is for insulin. J is for juicing, but it makes your balls shrink. K is for Klonopin, L is for lorazepam. M is for money, you're gonna need lots. N is for NyQuil, the poor man's utopia. And on the other hand, O is for opium. P is for Placidil, Q is for Quaaludes. R is for rehab if you want to get stable. S is for sanity, and if you lose it. T is for Thorazine, dozing and drooling. U is for uppers that give you a lift. V is for Vicodin, God's greatest gift. W is for Wellbutrin when you don't want to drink. What comes after W? X is for Xanax when you don't want to think. Y is for Yohimba, some Mexican stuff. Z is for Zoloft to perk your eye up. Now that you know your drug ABCs, go out and score and save some for me.
So this is my podcast, and I will do it the way I want to do it. If other people don't like it, that's too bad. It's mine, belongs to me. I do what I want. I have Eileen Weiner.
Weiner. How many years have you known me?
It's just
you
fun.
Still call me
It's just
Weiner.
fun to call you Weiner and have you say Weiner right afterwards. It's like when the conservatives do something and then all the liberals start whining, like the conservatives have planned it out, like, hey, watch the liberals whine, and then they do this thing, and they go, watch, they're gonna say all this stuff, watch, and then they go, like, if you watch Tucker at night, they talk about the latest liberal meltdown over whatever, and then they play clips of all of the people at CNN, like, saying all the predictable, outrage over whatever, So it's really funny. It's like that.
I'm deeply offended. That's what you're doing.
I hope so. Then you owe me $20 extra. So anyway, Eileen Weiner is a brilliant comedy writer.
I'd never argue with that.
And blues musician. And when she puts them together, it's amazing. And we are doing a podcast with her for some of her songs. And I'm also going to sing a couple of my songs, as you have already witnessed, and we are going to...
He's really just using me for my accompaniment, but that's okay.
Right, just using her. Right, okay, use all women for their love and their marriage.
Their love, their marriage, and their 10 fingers.
Then they die on me, though. It's kind of
Please,
sick.
no, not me.
It's a tragedy.
Healthy as a bear.
They die on me. I might not be. We will see. I might have to go back to the hospital. But anyway, so here we go. Here's what song we were going to have you do. What about the guy who was just acquitted? Because the
you mean Bill Cosby?
Bill, because the woman actually, she said that she took her a year to call the police. She talked to a lawyer extensively beforehand, and then when she got to the police, she told them that she never called Bill Cosby. However, she had called him, I think, 93 times, spoke to him on several occasions for over 45 minutes, asked for tickets to see him live, and went to see him live supposedly before he, after he supposedly, allegedly put his fingers in her. That's all they're alleging. And I don't get off on that. It doesn't really do anything for me. But anyway, that created a reasonable doubt
Well, you know what else? They said that now he's going to be teaching courses, and that
Right.
was not a joke. It was serious.
How
Teaching
not?
How not to whatever.
Well,
I'm not-
he hasn't been very successful at that, but he was successful for most of his career. All right, we'll put this over here,
We'll see how that works. Yeah.
and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay? So I'll be farther away and you'll be closer.
Chicks, I don't know what's wrong with these chicks today. Chicks, you just can't believe anything they say. Chicks, they are so vindictive, always hold a grudge. Naming, blaming, public shaming chicks. Why don't they get it? It's so easy to make the mighty fall. Chicks, without any proof, just because you're unconscious doesn't mean you don't want it. What's the matter with chicks today? What's the matter with chicks? What's the matter with chicks? Hey, what's the matter with chicks today? And that, of course, is a parody of the song Kids from Bye Bye Birdie.
I did not know that. See?
Well, now you did.
My knowledge of show tunes is pretty whack. Pretty whack.
Pretty whack.
So let's see. Maybe we could do Stinky Dean.
All right.
See if somebody likes that. A lot of people like that song.
Do people phone in to this podcast occasionally?
I know, because we only do it or record it.
Or I mean, do they I don't know, what tweet it or whatever they're doing these days?
I tweet it out. I Instagram it out.
Do they respond in some form? Is what I'm trying to say.
I go onto Facebook and I join groups that are like dog fancy or whatever, that have like 50 million people on them, and I post it. Or atheist, whatever,
or
okay. Satan worship.
Cool.
I joined a Satan worship group. It had
so that's why I keep
millions
getting
of
that
people
ad.
on it.
I keep getting that ad on my Facebook page now that says we're having a satanic ritual.
Oh, really?
Do you want to come? And
I
there's
didn't know that.
Yes, and there's no way to get rid of it.
And I posted my podcast on there, and someone was it was a song. It was a song about something, Bugfight or something like that.
Do you really want those people as your fans?
Does this really have to do with this group? And my reply was, this was the moderator of the group that had the power to take me out the group. And I said to him, I replied back, we all worship the Dark Lord in our own way. So evidently that was enough to make him
oh my God.
to make him think, okay, we all worship I do it by singing silly songs. So now we're going to worship the Dark Lord by singing a song about a friend of mine.
I'm frightened.
When I was little.
I'm frightened.
You frightened?
I'm frightened.
A friend of mine when I was little. This is a real guy, a real friend that I had. And we used to call him Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean. And all the parents said, don't call him Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean. 'Cause it's not his fault, it's his mother's 30 cats, 30 cats. When I was a kid, they lived down the street. A little boy whose mom had 30 cats you could meet. They called him Stinky Dean, Stinky Dean. We used to take Stinky Dean on the Cub Scout campouts. real guy, and one day he just moved away. And I was very sad. I went down to his house. His mom used to answer the door in her bathrobe, and I'd say, "Hey, is Dean here?" And he'd always be sleeping, like in the middle of the afternoon, no matter when, you know. And she'd always say, "He's sleeping, I'll go see if I can wake him up." And she would go away. We were never allowed inside the house.
Which is probably a
too
good
messy,
thing.
because that's where the 30 cats were and the bunch of cats. But you could see a bunch of cats and a bunch of cat boxes everywhere. Because whenever the cats would poop, she put a cat box there, so they would poop in the cat box, hopefully, instead of all over the house.
But it doesn't help if you've got that many cats.
It didn't really help. She had too many cats. But you can smell it. She never was dressed. She always had this dirty, really thick terry cloth white bathrobe on. And then one day he was gone. I went down there and knocked on the door. No one was home. No mom. Looked like all the stuff was gone. Stinky Dean was gone. So
Cat's gone too?
So Stinky, if you're out there, say hi. Find me on Twitter. Find me on Facebook.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that'd be amazing if Stinky Dean really found me.
Maybe you should check some of those cat sites.
Right.
Maybe that's where you can find him.
I'm sure the cats are going to 600. So anyway.
You want to hear Mommy Dearest?
Let's hear Mommy Dearest.
I wrote this song back when the Joan Crawford movie came out, Mommy Dearest, but it's universally applicable if you have that kind of a mom, which unfortunately many people do. You can burn me, you can beat me, but you just can't seem to reach me. I'm not itching for a switching, I just wish you'd quit your bitching, Mommy Dearest. Oh, you tell me I'm a nothing, and I need a little riding up. Was it something that I said that made you tie me to the bed, Mommy Dearest? I know that you're a movie star, but I think this has gone far enough. If I could get away from you, know exactly what I'd do. I'd call the entertainment page, tell the truth about your age. When I grow up big and tall, I'll write a book and tell it all. The handcuffs in the pantry, all those men that I call daddy, Mommy Dearest. Then everyone will know the truth, and they will turn their backs on you. They'll be horrified by the things they read, and we'll all be glad 'cause you'll be dead. As a 3-day dog on the freeway, as a picker in the monastery, you put the bitch in obituary, Mommy Dearest. And I'd like to dedicate that to my own dearly departed mother, to whom the lyrics don't exactly suit, but I miss her.
Well, you
Hi,
know,
Mom.
I love the hi mom, hi my mom too on that one. Yeah, I like the part about it. You put the bitch in obituary. That's great. Great comedy writer, this lady here. In fact, some people were talking about hiring you. You should be hired as a comedy writer.
That's what I think.
People are wasting their.
I know it. Ooh, you know what's funny? I used to be the music director of the Comedy Workshop back in Houston, Texas, back when Bill Hicks was coming up.
Oh,
you know,
really?
and also, what's that young guy's name who does cartoons for SNL? I can't remember. Oh, somebody.
Schlegel.
No, the other one. There's two of them. Sean Shannon or something like that. Anyway, and I sang that song. I used to sing songs before the show started, and my mom was visiting me one time, and so I had her stand up and take a bow, and after it was over with, somebody said, "Was that your real mother, or is that just like some actress you hired to do that?" But it was my real mother. Yeah.
Real mom. I should have my brother. I should have my brother on. We did the song about my brother.
Would he show up Would he show up at one of your shows?
He talks about it. You know, he doesn't live that far away. I'll probably do a podcast with him about.
Man, they could write a book about the Selzer family. I swear to God.
Gender issues, you know, and transitioning into a woman and all that stuff. There's an interesting podcast there, you know.
I've been trying to transition into a woman for years. Just because you're born as a woman doesn't mean
woman.
Just because you're born as a woman doesn't mean you're psychologically all there, you know.
So now we have a song, another country song about the possibility that I may have some children out there.
You think?
Maybe. I don't know.
It turned out my ex-husband did. My ex-husband found a son that was like all grown, 35 years old. His old girlfriend had run off and had the baby and didn't tell him, and now he's bonded and it's cool, and the kid looks just like him.
I wrote this song when I had this woman that I had that was my lover, and she kind of stayed in contact with me for years and years on Facebook, and she was always coming back. And then she contacted me once, and she had pictures of her son on there. And I was thinking, oh, no, that's my son. I would ask her point blank, is that my son? She said no. People would say, well, she would tell you if it was. And then some people were looking at the photograph of him and going, okay, that's not your nose, and it's not her nose either. It's probably not your son, because where'd that nose come from, you know?
But it could be your grandparents. No, I mean, the only way you can really tell is to do DNA testing.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always wonder now, my family hear this and they'll get mad, but I always wonder if my brother and my sister do look nothing like me. My brother and my sister look like each other, but they do not look like my dad. I look exactly like my dad.
Well, you got the good genes because you're good looking.
Thanks. Anyway, my mom would always say they look like some relatives on her side of the family, but I never saw anyone on her side of the family look like my brother, so I was thinking maybe my dad wasn't in the picture. So I don't know if my brother and my sister and my half-sister and my full sister, although they'd probably be very offended to hear that. But, you know, we'll never know now.
But like with my sister had 3 kids. She was married to a guy. She looked a lot like me. She had like dark brown hair, dark brown eyes, and so did her husband, olive skin, you know, Jewish background. The first 2 kids were boys who had black hair and dark brown eyes, and the third one was a blonde, green-eyed girl.
Yeah.
And I know that he was the father, but they got the genes from the grandparents. There was like a blue-eyed, blonde grandparent on each side.
That could happen, but I could wonder if it was a doctor at the hospital where my mom was working, you know.
Or sometimes they switch babies, too. You never know.
Yeah, well, they look like a lot like each other, my brother and my sister, but they don't look much like me. But, you know, the girl that I was wondering whether or not it was my son, she was an African-American woman, but she went for, like, older white guys. So that it was the same thing. And I saw one of her other boyfriends. It was supposedly the father. And he looked a little bit like me. But she went for a type. She went for older white men.
I wish I could find a type. I just haven't figured a type. I mean, you kind of have a type, you know, in your mind, but I'm like typeless.
I mean, I just showed you my girlfriends that were all recent.
My only type is like if it's breathing, there's a shot. You know?
Israeli girl, and then there was a Filipino girl, and then the other girl is African American, and the other girl is an American Indian.
But they're all kind of like young and cute, you know.
They're young and cute. That is true. There's young and cute. That's what I like.
I mean, I like young and cute too.
I just have a fetish for the ladies.
Yeah.
Some people just for girls, just in general.
Well, you know, when I first met you, I thought maybe I had a shot, but then I realized that you only like young girls, and that, you know, I had to give it up because I'm not a young girl. I was 30 years ago.
Well, then I saw pictures of you 30 years ago. If I would have met you 30 years ago, we'd probably be married.
You would have been a fetus back then. That was the only trouble.
Right. Would have been a fetus.
But I wouldn't have let that stop me because you know how I am.
A fetus, right. So this is a song about the laundromat.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And it's a country song. So I'll let you start.
You think it's in G?
Yeah,
Well, we'll try it. If it isn't in G, we'll try
give it
something
a G.
else.
Drift to something else.
Wait a minute. This is your intro. Okay, now.
I'm fucking your mom in the laundromat. Fucking your mom in the laundromat. Fucking your mom in the laundromat. And I forgot my party hat. For those of you who don't understand, for the purposes of this song,
What is a party hat?
a party hat is a condom.
Oh, I see.
A condom. Yeehaw. So I was fucking your mom in the
Fucking your
laundromat.
mom.
Fucking your mom in the
Fucking your
laundromat.
mom.
Fucking your mom in the
Fucking your
laundromat.
mom.
Your mom was the worst fuck that I ever had. I was fucking your mom in the laundromat, and I forgot my party hat. Oh no, I think I'm your dad.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I think I'm your dad.
Mr. Bill.
Oh no, I think I'm your dad. And your mom was the worst fuck that I ever had. Oh no, I think I'm your dad. So I was in my apartment the other day, and I heard this knock on my door. And I go and I look out, and there is a young, beautiful girl. But when I opened the door, I think it was just some girl who thought she was my daughter. And she said to me, she said, "You're my father, and I hate you.
Oh, no.
You're my father, and I hate you." I was fucking your mom in the laundromat. Fucking your mom in the laundromat. Fucking your mom in the laundromat. And I forgot my party hat. Oh no, I think of your dad.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I think of your dad.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I think I'm your dad. And your mom was the worst fuck that I ever had. Your mom was the worst fuck that I ever had. Your mom was the worst fuck that I ever had. Oh no, I think I'm your dad.
Yeah.
All right. Now it started out as a punk rock song.
I like that. That's really a nice song. I want to see the video. That would make seriously, that would make a great video. It could
That would
be
make a
done.
great video.
All you got to do is get some girl to pretend to be the mom and go to a laundromat somewhere where nobody gives a shit. You know.
Let's have you try to do a couple more songs, and then we'll do Bugfight.
Okay.
We'll call it a day.
Let's see.
We have an hour.
We could do this PC blues thing.
All right.
If you
sounds
want.
good.
Can't fly my Confederate flag. Can't call anybody a fag. Got no same-sex partner to marry me. Life's not all it's cracked up to be. I can use any bathroom to coop. And I've got my health care so far. Big whoop. But what's it all worth if you cannot speak free? This country's too PC for me. If you're pro-God or anti, you get it in the nuts. If you don't like some girl's Facebook post, you're accused of shaming sluts. Folks who cannot spell tell me I'm going straight to hell. And no matter what the New Agers say, everything's just swell. It's all good. George Carlin would not be amused. Mark Twain might be slightly confused. Donald Trump is a president. I'm ashamed to be a resident. And I've got the PC blues. Ted Cruz says you can't masturbate. illegitimate. I tell you the truth, I'm getting pretty sick of it. Can't fly my Confederate flag, can't call anybody a fag. Got no same-sex partner to marry me. This country's too PC for me, that's right. This country's too PC for me, and I'm offended. This country's too PC for me.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Fucking awesome. So the world's missing out on you. You know, get all these up
That's
on
what
the
I
YouTube
think.
channel.
I know. I
too.
should. I don't have any way to record them, so you know, I just need to.
Just with your phone.
I need
and
to
then it
record.
goes on your phone.
It doesn't, but you know, I need a stick, and you know, the sound doesn't come out that good, and then it doesn't look good visually. I need one.
How about that video I took of you? You were talking about how good that was.
Yeah, I need a videographer. You know.
Okay,
well, my friend Terry Quinn, who's an amazing guitar player, by the way, in case anybody wants to listen to his stuff at some point, which is all over YouTube, has a great videographer. He's got wonderful videos.
Well,
so I'm going to talk to his videographer.
Good. Do some of that, and I can bring over my microphone, and I can point the camera at you, and then we can do your songs on your phone, and then we can upload them to your.
You know, while I'm still above ground,
while you're still above ground, you never.
Because you just never know.
You never know what's going to happen online.
Especially in L.A., man. Oh my God, the traffic today is insane.
I'm gonna see if we can get us some work out there in Vegas, some lounge.
Yeah,
songs. That'd be fun.
I mean, back in the old days, all you needed was, you know, a nice set of memories. If you were a female, and you know that's all you needed.
Work anywhere.
And these days, you know, anybody can have that because there's plastic surgery. So even that doesn't really, you know,
there's
help
some
much
bad
anymore.
boob jobs out there, and there's some really great ones. Because my wife was a stripper, and we saw all kinds of boob jobs.
And frankly, I have no qualms whatsoever about wearing anything low cut. But in comedy, it really, they say it takes away from, you know, the funniness if you look sexy.
Well, you know, Sarah Silverman, you can find
she had a boob job, I
photos
think.
of Sarah Silverman before she was famous, and she had little tiny titties. And
she had a boob job, and she's got the
boob job.
She's got the shoulders of a linebacker
but it's a
too.
Very good boob job. There is a movie
hers aren't enormous.
where she's actually acting, and she's very good. She's actually very amazing in this movie.
Oh, is that the one where she played like an alcoholic or something?
Yeah, and there's a nude scene where you see her breast, and let me tell you, a damn good boob job. I've seen some crappy boob jobs in my life with bad scars and all kinds of stuff.
In the old days, it's horrible.
You know?
It was horrible. Yeah, because I used to work the strip in North Beach.
I've seen some amazing boob jobs, and I've seen some really good ones, and that's a really good boob job. So if you want to see Sarah Silverman's muff and her boob job, you can go and watch that movie, whatever it's called, where she plays an alcoholic.
Oh, speaking of movies, for whoever's out there and for you, The Little Hours, that new one that just came out, is just like based on the Boccaccio's Decameron with Nick, what's his name, and damn it, and everybody's in it, and Molly Shannon. Who's that guy, Nick Offerman or so? That's not his right name, but
I don't know.
Offerman, Nick Offerman.
People, there's some really good people.
I mean, oh my God. Oh, and John C. Reilly. It is so
what's it called?
funny. The Little Hours.
I don't have time to go see movies anymore. I used to go see movies. I don't have patience. I used to go to the movie theater once a week or once every couple of weeks, and I go to one of those big cineplexes where there'd be like 18 movies playing, and I just go in the movie. Well, you only have to see
one, Mike. I mean, you don't have to go see 10 of them.
I know, but I used to do that though. I used to go there. It used to help me relax and zone out. I would just go there in the morning and pay the matinee fee, and then I would just watch movies all day long in there, like switch and go from movie theater to movie theater, and it would never bother me. I would just like go into the bathroom, and then I would change my, put a hat on and take my glasses off and put some other thing on, and then I'd walk out, and then they would never bother me.
I got busted at the Sunset Cinema before it was taken over by whoever's got it now. I think it's AMC now, for bringing my own food. They caught me eating a Subway sandwich, and I was admonished. But I promised them I wouldn't make a mess. And so, I've never done it again.
I used to just stick some stuff in my backpack and just go in there, and some things to change my appearance. It was very simple, and then they wouldn't bother me. And then sometimes I didn't change my appearance at all, and they wouldn't bother me anyway. They just didn't care.
I mean, they're making the money. They've got your whatever, your entrance fee was.
Yeah, the place would be empty anyway, as long as it wasn't causing
But
problems.
this is playing right at the arc light, right down the street. So if you have an hour and a half,
if the movie was bad, I would just sleep through it. But anyway, so let's go. What next song are you doing? I just did Laundromat, right?
Yeah.
And you before that you did.
Did I? I don't think I did my dick song.
No, let's do the dick song. You find we had a dick. That's a good one.
Slick. I'd sit there with my crown on watching people as they bowed down if I only had a dick. And I could be the daddy of any lass or laddie at 70 like Mick. I could get an erection, I could win an election if I only had a dick. I wouldn't even need a room all of my own to do amazing things with my good friend Testosterone. Oh, it might seem kind of scary to be all buff and hairy and have to learn new tricks, but it would be so free and I could stand up when I'm peeing if I only had a dick. I could be a knockout, I could rock out with my cock out if I only had a dick. That was an outtake, of course, from The Wizard of Oz.
It's amazing.
I got that Trump song, but that's just so long and grueling, and we don't have to do that right now.
Yeah, let's do the Trump song.
Well, you have to stop in a minute because I have to.
All right, we will pause. We will pause the pod.
I have to.
We're
you better put
rolling.
a microphone over here close to me.
We're rolling.
Okay.
And we're already getting too much red over here. See all the red? We're doing fine.
I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and it irritated my mother on the way out. Perhaps that's why she never liked me, treated me cruelly, sent me away so that others would school me. My father gave me $1 million to play with for real. Now that's what I call the art of the deal. Then I went to the banks for more money, and they lent it. Every rule they threw my way, you know I bent it. Construction, casinos, even a university. It didn't matter if there was a lack of diversity. Sometimes I got sued, but nothing makes you feel superior like your name on the building and a solid gold interior. Anybody that got in my way, I tried to hush them. The only way to deal with competition is to crush them. I wanted my empire to go farther than my father's had. World domination, now that's the way to build a brand. People say I'm like Hitler, a despot, a Bulgarian, but I used to sell steaks, and he was a vegetarian. My mother's name was Mary, that makes me more like Jesus, and as for my behavior, I'm your savior, can't you see it? My name is Sammy Scamilton, they call me Sammy Scamilton, and there is nothing underneath the sun, just like me, wait and see. So I took, and I never gave. I spent other people's money, and I never saved a nickel. If I got into a pickle, I'd declare bankruptcy. It's no fun, but it gets the job done. And I married one blonde right after another. The first one didn't last, but she made a good mother. The second one was pretty much a flash in the pan, and the third one came from a faraway land. I looked out from my penthouse window one fine day and decided that the country needed a big change. 'Cause the rich, we're not rich enough, and the poor, who needs them? Tired of spending my tax dollars to house and to feed them. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does politics. It didn't take much more than celebrity and some dirty tricks. That woman thought she had it in the bag, but I beat her. And now I stand before you as your glorious leader. In D.C., I will be a new man. In D.C., I will be a new man. Just you wait, Sammy Scamilton. Sammy's with me all the time. Oh, Sammy, Sammy Scamilton. America smiles for me. They're so happy to see my face. Instead of the man that I replaced. What a loser. The country will never be the same. The wall is being built now. See if you can spot it. There won't be any immigrants allowed because we don't want them. It's red, white, and blue with the emphasis on white. The liberals fought with me. Jesus died for me. The working class trusted me, and everybody loves me. And so far, nobody has shot me. There's nothing underneath the sun just like me. Wait to see. And my name is Sammy Scamilton.
All right. Every podcast needs an anti-Trump song.
Well, I fucked it up a little, but not too bad, considering.
Oh, no one will know.
No, I know, considering that's a long-ass song. I had a whole musical written.
Let's try. We'll try to do Bugfight. You sing along with me. Bugfight. Bugfight.
Just leave that on. I'll fuck with it later.
Bug.
That's the first time I've ever recorded that song. And I mean, that's fucking good. You know how hard it was to write that period? It's a long-ass song. And it's funny as shit, too. Nothing makes you feel like superior, like your name on the building and a solid gold interior. That's a fucking lovely line. I love that.
Now, there was a girl that I knew, and she was writing a song about healthcare, and it was a parody of some other song, and she had one good line in it, and then the rest of it was just cliches of Democratic Party activism. And it was I kept telling her we're on, and I had her, you know, and I told her, you know, that line's really good, but. You know, but I didn't really know how to tell her. You really should make the rest of the song, the lines of the song, into jokes. You know, like that one. And, you know, I didn't really know how to do it.
That girl the other night was just horrible. That one that, mentioning no names at the place we usually go, which we won't mention, who got up to do comedy. But I think maybe it was her first time. Yeah, it was hideous. You know. Bugfight, huh? How does Bugfight go?
It's Bugfight. Bugfight. Bug fight. Make it really bassy. So this is a song about something I used to do when I was little. When I was little, I used to have this jar. It was a mayonnaise jar. And I used to peel the label off so I could see inside. And then I poked holes in the top so there'd be air. And then I stuck every bug I could find in the neighborhood inside the jar so I could watch them fight. I was like, wow! It's my bug fight. Bug fight. Bug fight. So one day I took my bug fight down to Johnny's house. And Johnny's mom answered the door, and she said, "Well, what do you want to see Johnny for?" And I said, "I want to show him my bug fight." Well, she looked at the bug fight very disapprovingly, and she said, "Ugh." But she went and got Johnny, and she told him, "Don't like the bug fight." But when Johnny saw it, he said, "Wow! That's a really cool." Come on, everybody. Bug fight. Bug fight. Bug fight. Bug fight. I used to stick every kind of bug I could find in there. Caterpillars and spiders and grasshoppers. Everything, and they would all start fighting each other because they hated each other, because there's no such thing as tolerance in the bug world. One day I stuck a praying mantis in there, and the praying mantis killed every bug in the jar. It was so cool, even a little pill bug that none of the other bugs could kill. It
would pry it open with his little arms and eat its guts out. It was so rad. It's like I invented the UFC 40 years before there was a UFC. I used to call it my Bugfight. 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 So I used to sometimes I'd stick like the spider in there with the grasshopper, and the grasshopper had these spikes on the back of its legs and it'd kill the spider. Sometimes I put a bee in there with a spider, have little bug matches. Sometimes the bee would kill the spider. Sometimes the bee it'd sting the spider, but then the bee would die too, because when the bee stings the spider, it would die, and then the spider would die and crawl up in a little ball in the corner of the jar and die. But sometimes the spider would kill the bee and start wrapping it up in its web. It was really diabolical. But then one day my dad saw the bug fight, and he said, "Well, that's not very nice to the bugs, son. You're going to have to pour that out." And I said, "Oh, Dad, please, I really love my bug fight. Please let me keep my bug fight." And my dad said, "Well, you can keep it for another hour, but then you're going to have to pour it out." And I kept it, and I stuck some more bugs in there. I watched them fight. It was really rad. And I showed it to the other kids. They didn't see what the problem was. They all thought it was really rad, too. But then my dad, he came and he found me and he made me pour it out. But you know what I did? I kept the jar. And from then on, I had to have a secret. A secret. Bug fight. Bug fight. Bug. Bug fight. Bug fight. All right, well, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, Eileen Weiner.
Thank you.
Look her up on Facebook. Hopefully she's got some videos up there, but not enough.
Oh, I got a bunch of them on YouTube.
And then you can see
WEINER on the Eileen Weiner channel.
And then you can see mine as well on my channel. And which is just Mark Selzer on YouTube. See you next time. Thanks a lot. This has been Pod Potatoes. Thanks for listening.